Hey there folks, welcome to my first video on Train Sim World 3. If you're new to the channel, I want to roll out the red carpet to you. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to watch. First and foremost, my name is Dingus McDirt, as you can see here in the top right corner. And we're just going to be taking a look at Cajon Pass, essentially, today, and nothing much more. I am going to be looking at the Castle-Versberg route in the next day or two as well and do a video on that. But I'm going to centralize this look on Cajon Pass, which is the North American route, obviously. 85 miles, Barstow to San Bernardino. Now, that's just one little bit of the game itself. So Train Sim World 3 as a whole comes with Castle-Versberg, which is 186 kilometers, which is a German high-speed route. It also comes with Southeastern High Speed, which we already had in Train Sim World 2. It has now been extended to Ashford, so it's got more high-speed line, extended to about 90 miles an hour. 90 miles an hour. 90 miles? You can probably do 90 miles in an hour. I don't know. Depends on how you want to drive. So you got that too. And then, of course, Cajon Pass. 85 miles. Stem to stern, top to bottom. And that's what I'm going to be taking a look at. This, for what it's worth, all intents and purposes, is early access. So I am a paid beta tester. What that means is, do I get paid? Hell no. Absolutely not. I paid to be a beta tester. Does that sound ridiculous? That's right. It does, because it is. It's essentially what early access is. So, you know, if you want early access, if you want to play it now, if you can't wait till the 6th, which is the official release date, buy the standard game or the deluxe edition. You can also buy regional editions, which say you only want Cajon Pass, or you only want the German route or the British route. You can buy those individually as well, but I do not think you can do that until the 6th. So anyway, if you buy it now, you can play it now. $49.99 standard edition, $53.99 deluxe edition. Deluxe comes with some stupid little stickers, which nobody's probably going to use. And I think the Spirit of Steam updated, which we got as like one of the last routes in Train Sim World 2. So anyway, thanks for joining me. We're going to take a look at Cajon Pass. What I typically like to do with these videos is just kind of take a look at everything as a whole. So I'm going to look over the route, top to bottom, side to side, not mile for mile, but for the most part, overall, everything the route has to offer. We're going to go over a little bit of the history on the route as well, and then we're going to get down to the rolling stock. So let's get right in it. Okay. Alright, this lighting looks a little better. So it's got the eye adaptation thing that they've added. You could do it before with eye and eye settings in other Train Sim World 2 games, but it's on by default now. So when you look at dark areas, they should brighten. When you look at light areas, they should darken. So we'll try here. So we'll look up at the sun. And then get down under here. So you can see it's pretty dark. Yeah, it does actually lighten up a bit. And what's weird is I can't get my camera any closer to than this. The 8 key used to be able to... It's like there's an invisible force field here. Well, there we go. Now we can. That's weird as hell. It's like not letting me... This is where the invisible wall is. I'm having a real hard time talking here. I need a Snickers. Alright, so we're at Barstow. Go ahead and show you the map here. This, of course, is... it's called Cajon Pass, but Cajon Pass is only but a fraction of this route. This is Cajon Pass right here through the mountain range. So we're up in Barstow. Looks like it wants us to go to about Victorville, or Orogrande, which is right about here. And then San Bernardino is down Chow. And then Los Angeles is right across the valley, just about here, IRL. And then over this way, you've got the Mojave subdivision. There's a lot of railroading out here. I would not doubt for a second if we didn't see an extension to this. But Anyway, let's see if we can find us some chooches doing their thing. So it is a little bit heavier now. What I'm going to go ahead and do is turn down... For what? I'm going to go ahead and turn down some screen percentage a bit. And I'm going to turn off VSync. As backwards as that sounds, but sometimes that can really kill performance in a game, as ridiculous as it sounds. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's skipping pretty good, just free camming here. What were they using for these, the big, like, you know, show-off stream Dovetail did the other day? Was that like a virtual PC with the most baddest ass specs ever? Was it a NASA computer? Because, like it says, I've got good frames on the top right hand of the screen, but it's skipping quite a bit. Just looking here, seeing if I can see a train. Alright, so we'll go over some facts and whatnot, some bits and bobs. Here's your loco facility. Racks and tanks and all that good stuff. So, let's get started with the basics. This is Cajon Pass. Well, where we're at is obviously not Cajon Pass, but the route is called Cajon Pass. It's like, think of it like CAH-HONE. Cajon, not Cajun. It means box in Spanish because the canyon, which it traverses, is essentially what they call a box canyon. It's about 60 miles from LA down in San Bernardino, the south end of the route. And it's also kind of lies on the San Andreas Fault, which kind of naturally made the split of which the railroad burst through the Cajon Pass. So it's a very neat area. Essentially, the route began in like the late 1800s, 1884, 1885, with the California Southern Railroad, of course, later becoming Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe. And then, of course, when Burlington Northern and ATSF merged to what we have now, the pumpkins before us, BNSF, who owns the pass. BNSF and Union Pacific use a lot of the same area around here. They share trackage rights in a lot of the area, but this pass specifically is well, BNSF, and they just let UP kind of do some stuff if they need to trade out stock, you know, and power as needed and all that good stuff. But let's see. Trying to think what else. All right, so let's get to it. I know I'm probably boring you to death. I'm boring myself to death here. I just don't know what to start with. I'm kind of excited that this is here. You know, this being Cajon Pass, because it's an interesting area, and it's a very important area for you know, freight in the United States, on the West Coast anyway. So we'll go ahead and give you the 9 keys. So this is Barstow. Over to the right here, let's see, I've got like a little quick guide, I think. So this up this way here is what they call Yermo, or the United States Marine Corps Logistics Center. Actually, that's not it. It's further down this way. Yeah, that's not it. I don't know what the hell that is, that little spur there. So over here is Yermo. Yermo is a giant UP yard. That, of course, is not in the game. There's a giant United States Marine Corps logistics yard which ship, you know, tanks, Humvees, APCs, all that good stuff. There's also a big power plant. I don't know if it's open anymore. It was called SoCal Edison. That may or may not be running. So there's a lot here. It's the desert. It's the high desert, but there's a lot going on. This is a kind of a big deal as far as American freight. There's another United States Marine Corps Logistics Center right about here, which is across from the other one. And then, of course, you've got Barstow Yard. So this over here, this is like a departure yard, what you see here. And then there's a kind of a little mountain range right here in this area. And then over here is your main yard. So this here is your hump bowl, or your classification yard, where they put trains together. Back here they do some intermodal stacking and taking off and things of that nature. Over here you've got your fuel racks, the maintenance depot, machine shop, stuff like that. And then more departure yards and just general manifest and things of that nature. So over here, this TriStar, whatever you want to call it, this is also BNSF trackage rights. This is the BNSF Mojave subdivision. This goes north and then essentially cuts west and goes to its namesake, Mojave, and then over the Tehachapi Pass and on and on and on and on. And then south is where we can go. So, you know, we will, of course, check that out later. But let's go ahead and breeze around the yard here. I can't get very high with the free cam. So we've got some nice radio microwave towers here. We got some equipment. Boxes look okay. It's nicely placed with the ground, except for this weird jaggy do. The tracks look okay. You know, they still have this weird thing where they cannot seem to match the damn rail bed with the right-of-way. And I don't know why. Like pretty much any railroad in America, for the most part, the right-of-way is going to look like the rail bed. And it's always, like, different. I mean, it's kind of the same color, but you can tell it's notably darker onto the tracks. So, I mean, one thing I will give them, though, it doesn't seem to be a repeating texture, which is just notoriously shite in Train Sim World 2 and Train Sim World before Train Sim World 2. So, you know, they're there, but they're less noticeable. It is the desert, the high desert, mainly. We're quite an elevation above sea level out here. So they didn't have to do too much in lieu of scenery, you know, just, you know, brush, your random willow or Joshua tree or whatever the hell. I'm not a arbor scientist. I don't know trees, but so they didn't really have to go too crazy, you know, with shrubs and things of that nature. You can kind of see where they stop in the distance there. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot to go over here, so you have to bear with me. This is probably going to be one of the worst YouTube videos of Train Sim World 3 that you will see in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. But anyway, we'll just have a look around here as usual. Some a-holes throwing a bunch of rocks on the roof. I don't know what that's all about. Got some tanks. Oh, look, a European truck. That's Mercedes. Turn your hair silver standing next to that for too long. Got some fuel tanks over here, because this, of course, is the racks. Believe it is. Stuttery is AF right there. I don't know what that was all about. Just listening to little ambient sounds and things of that nature. Got a cherry picker. Was this? It looks new. Or did they take this from Train Sim Classic? I don't remember this cherry picker model. We got another European dump truck for whatever reason. Okay. Got some more tanks. What's this? Get your hot dogs here. He looks super happy to be selling hot dogs in the middle of Barstow Yard. This guy. Somebody give this guy a beer. I'm hungry though now. I'll tell you that much. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so that's pretty cool. I like they added a little hot dog stand. Dove cookies, a bite above the rest. Yeah. Yeah. Right. We got some racks over here. This looks filled out pretty nice. You got a lot of stuff sitting around here. Got some train wheels with the caps. This, you know, there's a lot going on here compared to, like, I'm hearkening back to Cumberland Terminal sand patch grade, where that was always kind of bare to me. So here's the departure yard. We got some IM over here. They do, yes, I just said do. They did do some IM stuff over here, like nothing too big with the little trucks. I can't remember the name of the handlers, so it's not like the big cranes. But they do, I just said it again, IM stuff over here. But essentially, a lot of times Because see where we're at here, I don't know why this is over here, but it is. So trains will come in on these lines here, and they'll go to that classification or hump bowl up there, and they'll get mixed into new trains to go further on to wherever they're going. So typically these trains in this general vicinity are going to be coming in, and then the IM stuff would be over here, if I'm not terribly mistaken. So we got some trains sitting over here. The shop here, or maintenance facility. It looks very bare. Like, I don't think it looks like this. It's kind of funky. That slanty bit. Got the fuel racks. Those look all right. We got some cranes overhead. Yeah, what is this? Does this? You know, I'm not a huge West Coasty foamer. I'm a Southeast foamer. So I'm not like totally in tune with the West Coast foamage. But that facility. Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. That's not, because some of this is actually new. This is what I was thinking of over here, and that does look more correct. You got your tower over here. There should be a very famous tower up there on the right, of course. We'll take a look at. There's a lot of stuff sitting around here. I mean, hell, if you load into anything on Sandpatch grade in the old games, you know, there's not a lot sitting around here. There's a couple dozen C4s, some Dash 2s. But to be fair, in real life, this place be booming all day, all night. But it is a game. They've got limitations. I get it. Oh, let's look at the cars. I didn't even think of that. I'm just, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know what to look at. I feel like I should have gotten some questions beforehand or something. So these are new. Maxi stacks. Intermodal for you intermodal foamers. They look pretty good. They look weathered. They look nicely weathered. They look like, well, an intermodal car as far as I can tell. Got reflector strips on the bike. Couplers look okay. They kind of look like some wet clay a little bit, but yeah, the model looks okay. That's something that Dovetail's always done well. That's really never been a problem with a lot of the modeling stuff. It's just making it feel and sound right has always been the issue with the American stuff, anyway. And the other thing is like cheesy, crazy lemon freaking squeezy. Look how colorful this is. It's one of the things that makes IM look ridiculous in Train Sim World. It's just too colorful. Like, it just needs to be more muted, need to be dirty. And we need brands. I get it. Brands are an issue. Legal, licensing, blah, blah, blah. We got your tanks over here. We have most definitely had these before. Nothing special, nothing doing there. Got your big boy boxies. Okay, I was going to say, is that blurry? There we go. These are just repainted. Yeah, we had these before, I think. Right? At least we got two different colors, for Pete's sake. Look at that. You got to get like right up on these logos for them to clean up some. That kind of stinks. Shadowing's being weird too. Alright, got some hoppers. Again, had these before, nothing new, just new paint, essentially. Logos. Big hang on the game there. One of the things I'm looking for and I'm not seeing, I hope this isn't like a freaking rerun of Horseshoe Curve, is the bulkheads. We're supposed to have bulkhead flat cars, which are new. And I'm not seeing a single damn one. Don't tell me they're not in the game. Like those, what the hell? Were those 89-foot, the bear tables or whatever the heck? And a Horseshoe Curve that didn't pop up. Yeah, I'm not seeing any bulkhead flat cars. WTF, man. Alright. Repair shop over here, or your locomotive facility. So you'll have some that have been crashed, burned up, wrecked out, need, repairing, whatever the hell, and they'll bring them here and they'll get repaired about 6 years later. So that's what this is. In Britain, I believe they call it a TMD. TM Dizzle. Super bright in here. Yeah, so that's a repair shop. Okay. Alright, here's the main line here. Other outbound yard coming in here. Man, it's getting stuttery trying to fly around here with a free cam. We didn't get this, did we? Where's the Humpty Dump? Here we go. Here's the other shed down here. More maintenance. This is the super duper famous tower here. Let's see if they've actually got the BNSF stuff on it. Well, I'll be. So, Dovetail Games have always had a BNSF license. They've had something with BNSF, but they never wanted to pay for it or implement it or something. I don't know. They finally made good with it a year or so ago and brought everything into Train Sim Classic for people all over the world to finally enjoy, such as, Stevens Pass, Marius Pass, Dash 9, Loco Pack, whatever the hell, all kinds of stuff like that. But I knew the moment they announced it that day, the reason they did it was for Train Sim World. And here it is, BNSF in skid mark with Train Sim World. So that tower's legit. It looks just like that. It's the beginning of the bowl here. Just trying to look around and make sure I didn't miss anything. These facilities look pretty good. They honestly do. Is this new? This crane? Is this new to the game? Did they rip this out of like TS Classic? I don't remember seeing these before. Huh. Interesado. My game is going crazy now. It's like getting worse with the stuttering. So this is the hump, the Humpty Dump. A train will back over with cars right here, and a dude will sit up here and essentially cut them loose, and they'll go to wherever they're designated. So a little dude in here, or back in the tower, that tower over there, or wherever the hell he sits, I don't know which tower precisely, we'll send it via the trackage to where they're supposed to go. So I think the numbers as far as the tracks in the bowl over there start at 1 on the left and then go up to the right. I can't exactly recall, but it's something like that. Over here you've got your brakes, or what they call the retarders, which kind of slam on the axles or the train wheels on the train car to slow them down. It's a really cool process, and it's not just American. This has been happening all over the world for ages. They're prominent in Germany. I don't know if they use them in the UK, but it's an all over the world thing. And this, of course, is the yard that they end up in. There's more retarders on the ground, so they got those. That's nice. Cumberland kind of had the same deal. I don't know if they still use it in Cumberland, but you can see the yard goats over there. A couple of Dash 2s that would be taking cuts in and out, doing whatever they. Jesus, I'm getting some big hangs. The system here. Still not seeing any bulkhead flat cars. So, okay. And, yeah. Oh, here we go. Some auto racks. We had those before, so these do say Union Pacific. And I would also like to note, if you have Sherman Hill from the previous game, I guess it's part of the preserved collection, you will see Union Pacific stuff within this on the Palmdale Cut Off. Which, if you're saying, what the hell's the Palmdale Cut Off? We'll get to it. It's on the way. We'll get down to it. But we're going to look all over this damn map as much as possible. I might have to turn down the resolution a bit, because it's hanging and skipping like a son of a biscuit. It's like it's got a memory leak. I mean, all games have memory leaks. It's just how bad do they have them. There are a lot of rolling stocks sitting around. Yikes. Another tower, outbound, sitting here. So this is where trains will go out. Let's check this signal tower out right here. Look pretty good. The shadows are being crap. I mean, for that to be ultra, and the shadows are doing that, I have it set to ultra. It's a bit of a joke, if I'm honest. Check these signs out here. But then again, you know, they got to make this game for, like, Xbox 360 people, too. So, it's kind of an issue. I wish they'd just keep the PC, because it could be so much better. But, you know, some people will argue you till they're blue in the face about that whole thing. But there is radio towers up there as well, so that's pretty cool. That looks nice. Wonder if you can get up there. It looks detailed pretty decently for the area. I mean, I feel like I'm looking at Sherman Hill, honestly, with the trees and the brush and stuff like that, and the color of the sand. I feel like it should be a little bit lighter, but oh well. Yep, so this is all legit. There's the town back yonder. It goes fairly distant, the town. Ooh, this would be a good spot to catch trains, though, and take pictures and all that good stuff. So, yikes, just had a big hang again there. What is this billboard? Trek and treat with Trek Pass tours. Let's go hike around in the desert and sweat your balls off. This old bridge, this looks pretty legit as far as I can tell. Got some nice rustage going on under here. That looks pretty decent. Some more of the yard. This is your Amtrak Station. Casa del Desierto. I think it's the Amtrak Station. Girl Scout cookies. Thin Mints. That's my jam. Okay. Yeah, it's Amtrak, right? Barstow's got Amtrak. Or is it on the other direction? Yeah, this has got to be Amtrak. Another hot dog, dude? Love it. Love it. Okay. It's like the coolest thing about the game yet. Hot dog dudes. Alright. So it'll start splitting up here. Let's see how much farther I can go, because I don't exactly want to fly around the whole map with the 8 key here. I don't know how the game's going to react to that. Let's see if we've got checkpoint names down, because I know some of these boxes should have names for checkpoints. Different parts of the main line and whatnot, subdivision. I haven't seen one yet. Dead end there. Uh-oh. Stuck. Let me back. Okay. Go through this little cut here, and then we should have our different directions. These rocks through here look good, but then again, that's just some loft and Unreal. You know, just like with Cane Creek and Sherman Hill. But it looks nice. It looks fairly legit. We've got some fine spray paint artwork. Can I not go under the bridge? I can't. Dude, is it legit not letting me continue? Yeah, I can't free cam that way anymore, guys. Okay, well, we'll continue in just a moment. Alright guys, so in the spirit of trying to keep this video as short as possible, because I feel like we already did an hour in Barstow, I'm just going to try and hop around the map here. If you take a train in from End, it's going to take you probably over about 3 hours, close to 3 or 4, depending on what type of train, how long and heavy it is, and things of that nature. So we're just going to hop around the map. So we were in Barstow, which is up there, up this your way. That's not actually where we're at right now. But this is Barstow up here. This is the Mojave sub that goes up here, yada, yada, yada. So you'll go down, and this is some true, pretty much high desert railroading all through here. This is fairly high speed. I think some of it gets up to 55, 60, 70, depending on, of course, what type of train it is and things of that nature. And then we're getting close to the center of the map, so I'm actually right here. You can see that auto rack that's passing there. This is Ora Grande, and it's a little town, little area here. I keep hitting escape by accident. So that's north that way. This is south this way. And this is Ora Grande Cement, a big cement or cement facility, however you want to say it. I don't know if there's anything in-game that can actually mess with this facility, but you know, it looks like they got it laid out pretty well as far as I can tell. You know, the desert looks okay, but I don't know, something about that horizon. Like, I feel like the guys at Run 8 and a lot of the West Coast railroading in the high desert do it way better than how that looks. Just saying, because that's kind of what I'm used to when it comes to this area. But you got your hoppers over here, which could be used for cement there, because they pump it out. They got all kinds of yards and spurs and all that good stuff. So can hear some ambient sounds there. Good deal. At least it's not totally silent. That's your little security booth. So yeah, Ora Grande Cement. This is it right here. I mean, it's got tracks and switches and everything's laid out. So I guess you should be able to do stuff around here. I mean, so yeah, here's where they'd sit stuff out to either go out or come in with empties or fulls, of course, depending. And it's still fairly flat high desert. It's going to be mainly flat through here on your right as you're going south, or on your left if you're going north. There's a bit of a mountain range to the right, but this is believe it or not, this is a river valley over here. So you'll kind of be following that most of the way. So there's not much to Ora Grande. That's it. There's you know, it's nice scenery. It's desert scenery. It does seem a little bright. I've got it on the dynamic bit right now, so it's just, you know, clear and sunny. So all right, that's Ora Grande. Next stop, Victorville. All right, so we're down just, they call it East Victorville, but we're actually more north. And as you can see here down below us, there's that same auto rack going there. There is the river. So that's essentially, I think they call it the Mojave River, but it's a watershed mainly, believe it or not, essentially for when there's just giant floods, and that's where it drains. So there's a couple of historic bridges here. This one's for the highway as we enter Victorville. Go ahead and show you where we're at on the map here. So we moved out of here. And no, we didn't. I'm an idiot. We moved out of here. And then we're down about here now. Because you can see the auto rack there doing its thing. So this is the Mojave River Bridge on the highway. It looks pretty good. Old steel truss, as far as I can tell. It looks okay down here, I guess. You know, it's deserty. So, yeah. And then coming up here, we've got another one, which is the actual train bridge this time. Same deal. It's fairly old. And, you know, I can't tell, again, if this bridge model is new or not. It doesn't seem readily recognizable to me. Maybe they took it from like Oakville Sub, possibly, painted it. The Canadian National route that failed horribly. That could be it. Some power grid stuff going on over here. So this is East Victorville, California cement. A couple of turbines sitting here going, which apparently move with the wind. So just like on the OG Sandpatch grade, when you get down near that viaduct on Sandpatch grade, did our train just stop? I think it did. So depending on the wind in the game or what you have it set to, time of year and things like that, the turbines will either slow down, stop, speed up, all that good stuff. So they are dynamic, which is kind of intriguing, interesting. Extreme far desert. I'm sure that'd look a lot better with some clouds, but it's not playing ball right now. Now this facility right here, this big loop, is Cemex. So again, cement, aggregate type stuff, things of that nature. You can actually hear those. Interesting. Little ambient sound there. So yeah, CEMEX, again, big cement facility. You can see a lot of cars here. Looks like we got an oil train getting ready to shoot. Check the map again. So we'll shoot around this facility. It's getting pretty heavy on the frames. It looks fairly decent around here. They've got a lot of stuff placed down, which looks nice. Hold up. Hold up. Is this new? This gooseneck flatbed? Is that new? I know I'm like tweaking out over truck models, but I don't remember seeing that before. The actual facility's got ambient sounds as well. Probably just got your plant switcher here. This is fairly legit here. So, you know, it's middle of the desert, so what's hilarious about this is like the headquarters or the office admin, and it's just this big grassy knoll in the middle of the desert. That I just always thought that was funny. It's not that funny, sorry, but it's interesting nonetheless. Does it actually say CEMEX? Cementre. I don't know. I think it's still CEMEX. Maybe they just had to do that because of licensing issues. I don't know. But the facility looks pretty legit. They got it here. They pump some stuff. They do some things around here. So this little bit over here, this line goes to what they call Black Mountain, which is again more aggregate, mainly gravel and coal. Sadly, it is not on here. This would also be a staging area for that because plenty of cars do come and go from there, or they did. Anyway, it's pretty far. Like, so in real life, it's probably from the spur head over here. It's probably about right here. So that would have been nice had they thrown that in too. I guess that could be Black Mountain on the left there if you think about it. But Victorville, yeah, probably the second, well, I'll say third largest city between Barstow and, of course, San Bernardino down to the south is this Victorville. Victorville, I don't know why it's named Victorville. Probably a guy named Victor. Yeah. It's a nice looking ditch. Damn, that looks alright. Very nice. It's Ditch Simulator 3. Some good shit. Alright, let's keep on going. That's East Victorville. This is an interstate. I think it's I-15. Is this I-15? East, west, north, south. So if that's east and west, that's like 40. I don't know. Am I trapped now? Okay. Yeah, that might be I-40. Dude, am I stuck over here now? Son of a mother. Let's go. Dude, I hate the camera in this game. Is it going to let me go into this bridge? I'm about to burst a fuse. Okay, we're good. So this is Victorville, or Victorville on the tracks. It's actually a fairly large town, and you're not going to see much of it from here. But, you know, I want to say the scenery, from what I've seen so far, looks really good. Honestly, for Train Sim World standards. Apples and oranges, guys. Apples and apples, apples and oranges. But in defense of laziness, it's a desert, so there's not too much contrast and color and, you know, plant life and things of that nature. So that was half the battle already won, the fact that it's kind of a desert area. So, but it, you know, it does look pretty good, honestly. So this over here is your Amtrak station. There is Amtrash that runs through here. What's the name of it? Is it the... God, I'm not a big Amtrak weeb. I think it's the Southwest Chief that runs through here. I think. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, Amtrak station. It's like a multi-use. I think bus services through here as well. The actual station is down here, and that looks pretty good, actually. Do they have any, like, signage? Oh, I hear a bell. Oh, the train's south, that's why. This might have something to do with this being my train, so we'll just disregard that. So yeah, Amtrak Station, Victorville. It's Old Town up yonder. Old Town Route 66. Yeah, there's a museum. That's pretty cool. So they got that. Okay. So what's weird about this Amtrak station? So this is like a bus station, right? The actual platform to get on the friggin' trains is over here. I thought that was so weird about Victorville. There's like nothing over here. There's a station. You gotta walk way the hell over here to get on the train. I'm pretty sure that's how they do it. It's how they did it. But, that's Victorville. There's, oh, something I totally forgot to look at in Barstow. We're gonna have to go back. We'll go back after we get to the bottom. We'll loop all the way back around. What the hell is this? What the hell is that? Is that like a... Okay. So here's another little gulch or canyon or cut right here. This bridge looks legit. This is pretty much what it looks like. It's actually just a little road for this facility right here, which you can see, which is just another like aggregate type facility, which, you know, there's a lot of that around here being that it's a desert and you can dig things out of the ground fairly easily. And to get on here, it loops around and goes up to the main highway, which is right here, as you can see. So this all looks fairly legit. There's my train. Don't tell me I cannot freaking get under there, dude. I'm about to freak out. There we go. Okay. This is the rest of the, I'm doing air quotes, by the way, Mojave River. You can see there's a little bit more green going on in there because it just stays wet a little bit more. Here's an actual body of water. Okay. That looks alright. Is this a new thing? I'm going to try not to do the high-pitched voice there much more. You can see like algae and mud and just crap in the water. It's like an actual layer, like a sheen. It's like, you know, new diseases growing and birthing inside of this pond. It looks better than just having a blue hole there, you know, with not much to it, no reflection, no depth. That's interesting. Alright. And then it starts to get interesting as far as railroads down here. Because, hold up. Hold up. Yeah, okay. Alright. Wait, am I going? Yeah, there we go. This is south. So this is where things get funky. Another pond here with algae. That's kind of cool. I'm digging that. And it's not everywhere. I mean, typically it would be around the whole edge of the pond, you know? Pond Algae Simulator 3. But that looks alright. Hold up. Let's look at this box right here. Ah, so they do have the checkpoints. Okay. So this is Frost. Is that something up there in front of us? Dude, we're holding up the line big time. And Defect Detector. BNSF. Defect Detector. Milepost 42069. Axle count 69. No defect. Yeah, Defect Detector. Those that aren't aware, it actually picks things up from the axles of the train equipment themselves. You know, if they're too hot. They've got like these little fancy infrared cameras, all kinds of stuff. It's super high tech. But there's stuff actually sitting. I'll go back to that for a minute just in case. So these little bits here in the middle detect dragging equipment. So if there's something hanging from the rail car, it'll ping that and go to the driver, and you'll have to stop and check it out and all that good stuff. Of course, tell your boss and have your boss scream at you and stuff like that. Got your mile markers, whistle posts, looking good. Little Dash 2 consist. Looks like he actually might be running up to Oro Grande or C-Max up there. That's kind of cool. Hopefully that is the case. This is where the line goes to Splitsville and the flyover. So there should be a flyover up, y'all. Big neighborhoods over here, by the way. You wouldn't think it. Like, it's kind of hard to tell in the game, honestly. But there is a massive, massive neighborhood in town over here. I think it's actually a bit of Victorville. But there's like this huge golf course, and it's like a freaking tropical oasis on this side of the tracks through here. You can't really see in the game, sadly, but it's over there. And it's just funny because it's in the desert. So I'm just noticing, too, this dynamic weather, guys. There's clouds now. I'm kind of digging it, dude. That sky looks good. And I got to be honest here a minute, guys. Those of you that know me and, you know, we've spoken and shared our deepest secrets. I am a bit of a Way of the Hunter addictionado as of late. I've been playing Way of the Hunter way more than I should. It's taken control of my life. I love that game. What does that have to do with this? Well, it uses the same Unreal Engine, and they use these clouds. And in Way of the Hunter, even if you don't want to shoot animals, it's like an excellent hiking simulator, I guess. But the sky looks like this in Way of the Hunter, and it looks incredible, and this looks pretty damn incredible. Now, I have it set to Ultra, so these are actual dynamic 3D clouds, so you can actually see here, see these little wispy, swooshy clouds? Those are from the old, think of Train Sim World 2 when they finally implemented the new weather. Those are from that. So they kind of got them mixed here, which is nice because you'll have, stratus clouds, cumulus clouds, all kinds of different layers of clouding. My fellow flight sim nerds, fist bump, you'll know what I'm talking about. But so that looks nice. Like, if this was a sky simulator, yeah, looks good. And see, in the distance here, I'm actually seeing shadow from the clouds, and that looks legit. When you're in a wide open area like this, IRL, stuff like that is noticeable. And so where's the sun? It's right there. So this cloud right above us is casting shadow down there. It's throwing shade. So that's kind of cool. It looks pretty damn good, and it's getting thick with a couple of C's and not traditional CK spelling. But here's the flyover. There's a little foam spot over here where people chill out and watch trains, all that good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, little ditch right there. We'll keep on scooching. We'll go up to one little bit, and then we're going to flip on down to the pass itself, because there's still quite a way down to the pass. Just check out these neighborhoods up here. Yeah, I mean, they look okay from down here, for sure. I mean, scenery-wise, this doesn't look bad. This don't look bad at all. Okay, and look over here. I was, there they are. There's the bulkhead flat cars. Alright, excitement complete. I can end the video now. Okay, I'm kidding. We'll continue, of course. Let me open the map here. Yeah, so this is like a fairly large industrial park, and it is rail served, as far as I know, to this very day. Down here, you've got Goodyear Tires, I think, a big tire company. And then up here is Neutro, where this train's actually sitting. And I think Neutro is a dog food company, and cat food too, of course, for you cat people. So yeah, I guess you can do stuff back in here, which is nice. So, because, man, in SoCal, like, SoCal's a little different, when it comes to freight trains. Like, it's not just A to B type stuff all the time. There's a ton of locals, and, if there's not per se a ton of locals, there's a ton of jobs in a local, if you will. So, this is that. So, that's nice. There's a lot of stuff over here to work on. And I finally get to see my bulkhead flat curves. Of course, they say DTG. Blech. That's some kind of, oh, these are like rebar. This is like rebar loads, I guess. That's kind of cool. What are these from? Did they like legit model these, or did they take these from Train Sim Classic? That's cool though, man. I love seeing a mixed consist like that. It still looks a little too clean because, you know, there's no graffiti or any crap like that. But yeah, good deal. Little industrial park. You got your flash flood ditch over here, and there's even sand in it. So it obviously hasn't rained in quite a while. And look at the sky, man. The sky looks very pretty. I ain't even gonna trip about that. It does look good. Homie ain't be tripping about them skies. It does look good, though. It do be looking nice. Alright, we'll go a little bit further, and then we're going to skip on down. Because down here to our left should be the BNSF Lucerne Valley Subdivision, which goes, well, I think it dead ends. It goes quite a ways, but there's like a huge, what is it, Mitsubishi factory down there, or something like that. Or there was. I don't know what the hell it is now. Oh shit! Dude, my favorite so far out of this add-on is the bulkhead flat cars. They got 2 loads. They got the rebar and the pipes. That's all right. That's pretty cool, man. I thought it was just going to be 1 damn load, but they got 2. So, GG on that, I guess. GGIG. Alright, let's keep on going. Got another Defect Detector right there. Looking good. It's got the hanging equipment. A little piece of equipment. Very nice. Go a little bit farther. So yeah, anyway, BNSF Lucerne sub goes to the east, I want to say. Yeah. And I just want to see what it looks like, see how far it goes, see if there's any little bits and bobs down here. We should be coming up on it right here in a hot minute, because there's actually quite a bit of industry out here. I mean, it's southern freaking California. You know, tons of industry, tons of agriculture, produce, things of that nature. So, jeez Louise, I didn't think it was this far down. I think that's it right there, actually. Yep, there it is. There's a turnout. Laying the pipe. Giggity. This looks pretty good right here, too. I'm all about the little stinking details. Call me a rivet counter. I care not. But the ties and the rails laying down in here, that's pretty legit. I like seeing stuff like that. This is the Lucerne Valley sub right here, and you cannot go down there. Oh, shucks. Alright, let's keep on keeping on. Okay, guys, so we're continuing southbound towards San Bernardino, or San Bernardino, as it's got that nickname for whatever reason. So I had to spawn in a train, of course, and then free cam all the way up here. It took the better part of 20 minutes. Would not recommend it. So we are about right here. About right here. Yep, these 3 tracks. And why this is important is because this is where your trackage and the numbering of said trackage comes into place. So that far right track up there on the right, that is main 1. That was laid down in about 2007 or 2008, somewhere thereabouts. The track in the middle here, which we're currently panned over, is main 2. This was built in 1913. And then track 3 over here on the left is OG Triple OG, which was built in the 1800s. So this is the beginning of the pass, and it may not seem like it, but we're in almost the highest part of the pass itself. Of course, the namesake of the route, Cajon Pass. Again, this is a split between essentially 2 mountain ranges. I can't remember. It's like the San Bernardinos and San Gabriels or something like that. But essentially the San Andreas Fault, which is down to our south here, which is slowly pushing California out into the Pacific Ocean, kind of created this pass. So it was like a natural pass. So for railroaders and giant industry magnates back in the day, they saw, least resistance path. And that is what we're at here. So, again, it was owned and started by the California Southern Railroad in 1800s, which, of course, later became Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe. And then, of course, after the Burlington Northern and Santa Fe came BNSF, who currently owns and operates the route. So, down here to the right, I'll show you on the map, is what's called the Palmdale Cut Off. And that is a Union Pacific track. And this goes over to, I think, Mojave. I think it goes over to the Mojave sub. So this way up here goes over to the Mojave sub, this little string right there. And then this does as well right here too. So Southern Pacific, who got gobbled up by Union Pacific, of course, I think started to complete or completed the Palmdale Cut Off in the 60s. And then the whole merger thing happened, and Uncle Pete runs the show now, which is UP. And so they've got the Palmdale Cut Off, as it's affectionately known as. It used to have 2 tunnels way back in the day. They went ahead and removed those. They did a complete revamp over the years several times, lessening the grades, the curves, getting rid of the tunnels, of course. Now I think the max grade is 3.4% eastbound. So that'd be east. It's actually north-south, but it's American railroading. So it's a weird thing with directions. This is technically eastbound, and then this way we're facing is technically westbound. So it's 3.4%, so it's way more sharp. I'll just go back to the map just for those unawares. It is way more intense climbing this way than it is coming from up here and climbing this way. Just FWIW. So the summit itself, or the pass, has got an elevation of about 3,823 feet and essentially connected Barstow and San Diego, which was a big deal back then when it was created. Nowadays, not so much. And it can see like a capacity of 150 trains a day. It's a lot. This is like a mega North American rail fanning and foamer's dream of a location. And, of course, like I mentioned earlier, the Amtrak Southwest Chief runs this daily, I think, to and fro, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so this is where we're at, the beginning of track 3, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, there's track 1 on the far right, 2 in the middle, 3 on the left. So the one on the left here that you'll see, and you'll see in just a moment why that one's kind of important, is that's the OG track. And you'll notice that as soon as we get up here, why that is. And they kind of built around and graded the desert out some more and things like that. And, I'm kind of getting the vibe now. I kind of understand why Dovetail chose to run this the other day when they showed it off in near darkness, because it's still super bright over all the game, and that it does not look great. I'm seeing some holes in the terrain right there. That just looks ridiculous. That might be a legit arch. I don't think it is, though. I think that's just a graphical issue. The scrub and everything looks okay trackside, but then it disappears. Like over there, it doesn't look so bad, but there's some areas the further we go that you'll notice that, don't really need mentioning. And then, of course, you've got that distant fog thing, which is like an unreal deal over there in the distance. So this little extra spur here that you're seeing, you can tell that it's new because the gravel's different. It's more of a pink. The pink is like newer stuff, I guess you can think of like that. But helpers don't really exist on Cajon Pass. They used to, though. They used to be a big part, and they could turn around or be sat up on this track right here, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what that be, but we'll continue southbound here. Whoop. Finger slipped off the keyboard. Yeah, the scenery over there just looks very crappy. It's a bit of a shame. I mean, a lot of it seems okay, and then there's this weird field of view thing that's going on where things look okay. Like, I'll back up here. Just look on both sides of the track, and you can see the shadows of the plants moving. And it's like the closer I get to them, the shadows disappear. It's like that's backwards. Doesn't make any sense. Because see, when you remove shadows from a simulator or any kind of big game like this, it looks wank as hell. So it's kind of doing that. And as we go along, you'll just notice the shadows kind of boop, 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 disappearing. So that's the highway over here. I think that might be Route 66. So this up here, which they didn't really model worth a hot damn for whatever reason, this is the Overlook. This is Summit Overlook right here. This is like a semi-famous place right here, and you can actually pull over, hence the name Overlook, and take pictures and foam out. You can kind of tell looking in both directions that this is it. This is the top of the mountain for what it's worth. So that's Summit Overlook, about 3,800 feet roughly. And then you can see the mountain range just continues as we sweep around here. It's that distant fog back there, which looks redonkulous. And there is our Palmdale Cut Off. So that is the Union Pacific or Uncle Pete's trackage, which, you know, is a cutoff. It cuts over to the Mojave sub. We'll go ahead and take a look at the map again just to show you here. So we're about right here now. And this is the Palmdale Cut Off. Now, apparently Dovetail have said, and take this with a grain of salt, that if you've got Sherman Hill from Train Sim World 2, you will see Union Pacific gear rolling over this. Now, I haven't figured out how to put my old add-ons into the new game. Not super worried about it right now. I'll try and figure it out at some point, but if you do that, that happens, apparently. So, okay, again, tracks here. Let's see, this is number 3 right here. It's the OG triple OG. That's the steepest of the steepest on the left there. We'll follow the new bits here. Might as well. This cuts over to the Palmy Boy, Palmdale. But we ain't doing that. And look at there. There's a BNSF scooting up the mountain right now, chugging hard. I'm not going to try to get too close because I haven't really heard what these things sound like. And being a massive train nerd and actually wondering and caring what this is all like, I'm going to save that for a bit later. I promise you I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, this is brilliant. That sounds brilliant. This is brilliant. There's already plenty of that on the interweb, so you're not going to get any of that here. Sorry if that's disappointing to you guys. You can see the mountain range there in the distance. Over to the right, there's Mount San Antonio, San Antone, which is, they call it Old Baldy. So, yeah, that's its nickname. It sits about 10,000 feet above sea level. I don't think you can see it from here. I'm not seeing it yet. It typically is covered in snow. I mean, it's 10,000 feet above sea level. It, you know, probably not in the very deepest of deep summers. It is not, but, you know, it be what it be. So we're still track 2 and 3 over here. It's Palmdale Cut Off over yonder. Or wait, did 1... I know you pass back and forth across 1. It's a highway right there. I think that is Interstate 15 right there, because it's odd numbers north and south and then even east and west. Some of this looks okay as far as distance scenery, but that real distance stuff is just like, there's some weird textures going on with those there. It's just, it's not a good look, and it's pretty obvious why Dovetail kind of showed this at dusk. I did put it on dynamic weather again. It was just clear as a crystal, but it's starting to kind of cloud up now, as you can see. Cutting around over this way here. So we are actually making our descent towards the coast now, or towards San Bernie. There's a truck over there. There's another big rail fanning spot up here somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find it. I think it's in between the Palmdale and 2 and 3. Or it's in between, what does that say? Or it's in between 1, 2, and 3. Your essential shipment of excellence. Okay. So we're continuing down. You can see the mountains are getting higher. They're not really. It's just that we're going down through the mountain range. It's kind of funny like that. Like back earlier when we were coming across the desert coming south or west in train talk, we were actually at like the same elevation. So I want to say Barstow is like 2,000 feet, so that's not much lower than where we're about to be in a minute, which is Cajon. So there's this little cut right here. A lot of this looks fairly legit. A lot of the weird distant texturing is like throwing it way off. It just looks funky in some areas. Yeah, like I don't know if mountains are a good thing in Train Sim World unless they got 2D trees on them or something, because they just look wanky AF. But the flatter part on the northern part of the map looks fairly good because you don't really see mountains. But anywho, scooching right along ski. There's Uno. I believe that's Uno right there. Let's see. Yeah, it should be Uno. So that is the steepest route you can take. That is the original line right there. 18 hundos, the way we're looking there. This is the newer bed on the right. And we're kind of getting to the outskirts of Old Bernie, San Bernie. So we're passing through Cajon, the namesake of the route. Going to keep going a bit further on the northern outskirts of San Bernie. There's quite a bit of industry. There's a massive, absolutely massive, chungy-bungy FedEx shipping facility. And it actually works out because the rail yard up here in San Bernie is a massive intermodal yard. So they literally got 6-7 miles to truck to and fro the rail yard. There's some more weird ass looking texture on those mountains. The actual ground is starting to look weird as hell too. You can see like a lot of Southern California does kind of have like a pink hue to the ballast, the gravel. But you can see what I'm incessantly bitching about is the difference between the right of way and the tracks. It looks damn near ridiculous because in real life it's one and the same. I don't really understand why they don't just make it look the same. I guess maybe then they think the tracks will just kind of blend together or something. I don't know, but it looks ridiculous. It doesn't look good here. It looks a little bit better in the gray. Another hot dog stand, and Walter White and Jesse making their way, cooking up some of that blue. Let's see what we got here. You can probably hear my dog digging right underneath the desk here at the moment, so my apologies if you hear that. Got some more defect detectors, so there's plenty of those along the route, which is nice. We're actually getting a lot lower now, so like I was saying a moment ago, it's kind of weird because it looks like the range is getting higher, but it's not. We're just getting lower in this pass here, or this valley. So it's kind of funky like that. There's the trademark, the indicative trademark of the area in the Route 66, America's highway, back before the interstate system and all that. It's a big shame about Route 66. Everything's, pretty much died by the wayside. They're trying to preserve bits of it, in small town Americana. But, that was it. Before interstates existed, families would just hop in a station wagon and just see where the wind took you. It sounds like it'd be a fun thing to do. Maybe not so much nowadays, but back in the day, that was it. But continuing on here, keep on going. It's going to widen out. This is kind of the basin of the river here. This down in here to our left actually looks pretty good. That wash there, that dry gulch, and see the ballast kind of changing back and forth a little bit from gray to pink. I really wish it would just stay one color or just have them blend it better, because good night, it looks terrible sometimes. The bit up in Barstow didn't look all that bad, but this is not starting to look good. And then of course the mountain textures, like that's weird as hell, man. It's like ribbed. Very strange. It could have a lot to do with the angle of the sun. But anyways, the sky looks amazing. The clouds look absolutely amazing. It's just, it's funny though. Like I was talking about Way of the Hunter earlier, which is a fantastic game, and it is just a beauty of nature and outdoor because it's got Nez Perce in Idaho, and it's got the Transylvanian region in Romania, and it is freaking gorgeous. Like even if you're not into hunting game, it is just beautiful, and it's on the same engine as this game. So when I see other games and other developers, and this isn't a big developer either, Way of the Hunter, when I see them make games that look that damn good, and then we've got Dovetail, which, keeps shelling out these train games year after year just about, and nothing really seems to change in lieu of scenery. I mean, we got a whole new game for the sky and some weather and a training facility. Like, it's understandable that people are a little pissed about that, myself included. I do like how you can see the shading of the cloud being over that mountain over there. All right, here we go. So we're getting into San Bernie up north here. Dude, these freaking hot dog stands are everywhere. What's up, my bro? Looks like he just busted out of jail. That must be like some stupid collectible thing. But this is one of the big shipping facilities right here. I believe that's the FedEx facility, if I'm not totes mistaken. One of them is, anyway. Those are the UP lines off to our right there, the gray ones. Trying not to stick around too much in here because we're going to have a ton of stuff to look at in San Bernie. And we're getting there right about now. Whoop. See if I can cut over a little bit. Yeah, it's like the more I look at this, the more I'm just getting Sherman Hill vibes, for those of you that hadn't played Sherman Hill, just with a new skybox. And it's amazing how much the sky, like, that is incredible looking. And then you kind of look down and you're like, bum, 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 bum. I think that's Cargill. Is that Cargill right there? So there's a few more industries. I'm just kind of babbling now. There's a few more industries down the line here that I don't know if you'd be able to switch out. It doesn't look like they continue with the UP lines here, which are these right here. Some of these, I'm not seeing any like loader icons. I think Cargill is through here, which is like a huge... what's the word? Son of a biscuit. Like, grain. Jesus. Grain and other things like that and stuff. So, yeah. So we're getting into North San Bernie. A lot more built up. The frames are definitely taking a beating. Another big facility over there for tricking. Yeah, I probably could have just fast forwarded to San Bernie, but we're pretty much there. Here's a canal, 2 canals. California be all about moving that water because they don't have a lot of it. Just about there, big main line area here. Fairly high speed. And then we should take a sharp, very sharp right up here just any moment now. But honestly, a lot of this area looks like it was somewhat hand-built. And I feel like you know, it's a little bit different in lieu of like some of the other routes they've made where they use their little auto gen thing that just kind of automatically fills stuff. And that makes stuff look like ours. So it definitely looks like a lot of the stuff was hand placed for the most part. I mean, even looking at some of these, like all kinds of different trucks, containers, tarps, pipe, boxes sitting over here, all kinds of stuff. Like that looks random enough, like some little BS AI didn't make it, you know what I mean? So I'll give it that as well. I noticed that around Barstow and just generally going down the line as well. Green! Yes, that's grass, ladies and gentlemen. Grass in the valley. Interstate. I believe that's the interstate, is it not? San Bernardino's a pretty good sized town. There's also some Metrolink services here, which for those unawares is this area's metro commuter services. It's almost like I don't want to say inner city. It's like a regional service, if you will. Stack train sitting there trying to get into the yard. That's probably because my train is holding up the line. And here's the big curve. So this should go right into the intermodal yard in San Bernie here. Actually, not that curve. The next one, that wasn't as sharp. There's another choo-choo's on the move with all them super colorful Lucky Charms containers. Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of stuff around here to look at. I'm kind of breezing past it just because I'm trying to keep this short and sweet and cover the whole route, you know, all at once. But it's proving a bit difficult to do. But anyway, here's the Intermodal Yard, right y'all. Got some racks sticking up there. The frames are definitely tanking. It's starting to get a lot more cloudy. Man, those clouds look incredible. Does it warrant a new game? Nah. But they look good, man. I think that looks way better. Just look at the scene here. Just put your hands up in a box, you know, like a cameraman or a photographer. Look at this versus just like that bright white open that we came from. This looks way better. That doesn't. Look at that sharp edge on that mountain. Wow, somebody oofed there. All right, Intermodal Facility right here. Is it starting to rain? It is starting to rain. God dang it. These little lines over here, these are Metrolink spurs, essentially, where they can keep equipment if they want. It's the Intermodal Facility. It looks pretty good, I guess. You know, as good as it could be. It's still extremely colorful. Like, why is everything so damn colorful in this game? Like, it's just, you know, even if there is a lot of color in real life, which there really isn't, it's just, it's muted a lot. And in this and in other Train Sim World games, it's always just been super vibrant and just doesn't quite look right. Very dull. I guess maybe they just want to make it fun, you know, or appealing. I don't know. Metrolink trackage here as well. I think this is called the Redland branch or something like that. Am I thinking the right thing? I think it is the Redland branch. But we'll continue going through the Intermodal Facility. I like they got the lines on the ground telling you where the tracks are, not to get run over and turn into a meat pancake. It's a gigantic facility, though. The Amtrak Station is over here. This station is pretty famous. It looks like that for the most part. They probably ripped this right out of Train Sim Classic because it's in Train Sim Classic as well. I do like that they added the vines on there. That looks nice. Makes it look a little bit more alive. This stuff looks okay. It looks fairly similar, if I'm not mistaken. The benches and whatnot out here for the trains. And you got the flyover right here with your elevators and stairs and all that good stuff. Parking lots back here. Yeah, I mean, it's not super fancy. Like, it just looks really flat in the game. There's no shading to it or something. There's your Pringles advertisement, because Dovetail made a deal with Pringles, so you see Pringles in the game now. So, okay, so there's that. So we're right about Chion. And yeah, this over here is the Redland branch that goes down onto there, which is just a branch, just like it says. And then this, oh, I'm a dingus. This is the Metrolink line right here, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is like a purely Metrolink corridor that's not built out all the way. Here's the triangle. This continues down to Los Angeles because we are not too far. This is like the standard yard of San Bernie right here. You can actually see a lot of the cars sitting there as we speak. So you got your triangle there. There's a lot of, you know, shops, maintenance facilities, fuel racks, things like that. And then over here, which they don't have for whatever reason, so like just to the left of where this little icon is a north and south line, which is the Union Pacific trackage, which you can kind of see where it ends right here. So that's Union Pacific. They don't have it on here. And then if you keep going to the west, there's Union Pacific Rialto branch, which continues westward, and a little bit south of that is the San Gabriel subdivision as well. And then down here is another massive yard, which they make no mention of in this game or anything, the Colton Yard. So Colton is like a huge Union Pacific yard. It's like one of the main bases in the area, or the main base, essentially. Holy crapoly, it got really dark. Let me cut this and we'll get back to sunlight here. Alrighty, now that we got that sorted, we got the rain out of here. I feel like this dynamic weather, all it does is like, every time I've loaded it up, it just takes clear skies, right? And then it gets cloudy, and then it rains. It's like the same thing. That's not really dynamic. I mean, it doesn't rain every day, you know, unless you're in, like, England, haha, or the Pacific Northwest here in the States. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. So, anyway, we're going to head back to the Intermodal Yard. That overpass there looks pretty legit as well. It's actually a decent-looking IM yard. This is one of the big ones. This is one of the legit ones. The only thing that kind of sucks are these trucks, while that was not supposed to rhyme, and it did. The truck models themselves look okay, but it looks like something out of the 70s or 80s. They have these little, I can't remember what they're called, but they're just little tractors, little yard tractors. And it's like a tiny one-man cockpit thing you drive in, and they don't look anything like that. But, you know, it'd be nice if they modeled something like that just to make it look more akin to the real deal. So anyway, Amtrak Station, IM Yard. We're going to keep on going westerly. Go down here and check out the maintenance facility. Here's where you come in and out of the yard, where you got to weigh your trucks, all that kind of good stuff. Staging area, I believe they call it. Like we got another hot dog stand. Jeez Louise. There's that same criminal that escaped the local pen. Like we got a yard goat there. I believe you get some timetable stuff to mess around in here. Of course, we'll definitely take a look at that. Want to see how far we can go this way. Another ditch. Or California's beautiful concrete rivers. Oh man, another little yard here. And then that should continue on over to the Union Pacific stuff. Yeah, it ain't letting you go that far. So we'll head on back this way to where we actually spawned. Our train, which I spawned in on, is sitting in the main freight yard. That's just the IM yard that we came through there. And here's the triangle here. Man, them crickets are loud, I tell you what. Alright, and here's the legit yard. I guess this is the train I loaded in on. This Earl train here. But it's pretty thick. There's all kinds of stuff sitting around. Big parking lot there. Got a couple of mountains in the distance. It's a lot more flat through here. In fact, if you were to keep going this way, which you can't do, which is why the railroad's built in such a way, there is another mountain range damn near to the coast. So it kind of goes It kind of goes, we'll say, west-southwest, and then just west onto Los Angeles. Further on that way. Alright, so that's the route. I hope you found that somewhat informative. I just kind of wanted to show off the whole thing and take a little brief look around. Of course, we're going to get into the rolling stock now. Alrighty, so we are now in the bread and butter of Cajon Pass. The ES44C4. And a teeny tiny little bit about this son of a biscuit. Let's just hop out, take a look at it, revel in its majesty, talk about it for a minute. We of course are in the garage here, or the maintenance depot. Alright, ES44C4. This comes with the route Cajon Pass, as well as the SD40-2 for the 90th time in Train Sim World history. So this thing here essentially came out of the blue in about 2009, which of course was the release of the continuation of the GE Evolution series, otherwise known as GEVO, equipped with whale-saving technology in the prime mover, which is the engine for lay terms, which met and helped with EPA standards and just saving the world and hugging trees and things of that nature. Greta very much approves with this locomotive. So BNSF and my very own East Coast Floridian train route, Florida East Coast, FEC, bought these. They were the only two, BNSF and FEC. So BNSF got about 1,100, 19, something like that. And Florida East Coast got about 24, something, 20, 23, 24. They had a 12-cylinder GEVO prime mover, of course, rated at 4,400 horsepower at 1,050 RPM, so that's 1,050 RPM. They weighed about 416,000 pounds, had high-ad bolsterless trucks. They had about 144,000 pounds force of starting tractive effort and continuous 105,000 pounds force of continuous, if I didn't say continue before, and capable of 75 mile an hour, which they rarely hit. And they either had K5HLs, K5HLLs, or K5LAs. So, yeah, let's take a look at it. As usual, you know, the modeling doesn't look bad. You know, the guys in the modeling department in Dovetail pretty much know what they're doing. These models look pretty damn good. I've never really had an issue with the models. Like I said before, it always just comes down to the physics and the sounds and little intricate things, I guess you could say, but you know, they got the ditch lights right, so we'll give them that. The logo looks pretty good. The skid mark, or the swoosh as it's called, what is this, H4, I think? H4? Numbers, or brow numbers, seem to be legit. Wow, those hoses are actually labeled. Okay, I don't remember that in previous iterations of this thing. Coupler looks pretty good, it's colored nicely, although it's a bit red. 3-point of contact, safety for, you know, maneuvering around the train and rail yards and things of that nature. Got the GEVO logo. I thought something else was on this logo, but I might be wrong. Looks like it's missing something. Got some other bits and bops on it as well. Is that the builder's plate? Where's the GE? Can they not put the GE on here? There's like a GE plate, isn't there? I'm not seeing it, but they got all the other stuff. Looks pretty good. Trucks look good. These, of course, have the fancy thing where they could take power off the middle truck and put it on the first and third wheel within the truck. Dovetail talked about that from day freaking one with Cajon Pass. It's like the greatest thing since sliced bread to them. I don't get it. It's neat, but it's a gimmick. So cool, I guess. Jesus, I hate when it does that. Looks good, and there's our E-bell right there. Electronic. Fuel tank looks pretty good. Is there an actual needle on there? It is. She's almost full. BNSF on the side looks pretty good as well. Lube. Yeah, the truck chains. Them big ass flared rads. Like a hammerhead shark. Alright, let's get on board. Come on up. Open the door. Close the door. What do we got here? That looks new. And fairly detailed. These plates right here, builder plates. Turn the light on, makes absolutely no sound. Fuse box. Torpedoes. You cannot get in the shitter. Why don't they ever make the shitter operable? I don't get it, man. Alright, anyway. It looks pretty good in here. It's very bright. Like there's no occlusion or shading or something. It's just very bright. I don't know. Like I just wish it looked more natural. This doesn't look natural. The brightness in here. It's our phone, e-brake, PTC. Chairs. Can you let's see if you can move the chairs up and down. I don't think you can. There's the heater over here. Got our lights and whatnot up there. Got your fan. You can turn it off and on. Makes noises. Indicators telling you what's going on with your lights on the unit. Jesus Christ, I hate when that thing pops up, man. That's irritating as hell. Same thing with the other game. There's your inspection sheet. No fun stuff written on there. Just getting see. Alright, seems like it's a little bit high, the position. I don't know, it seems really high for some reason. Alright, let's see what we got back here to mess with. Let's see. DPU switch is on. Emergency lights. Running lights. Fuel pump ECU. Local control. Control cover. You can actually turn that. Engine is set to run. Short hood lead. Engine stop and start. Number boards are on. There we go. Got it closed. Alright, let's look at the radio. So this, of course, is their fake distributed power. They can't do it for whatever, implement it in the game, so it's like this fake thing where you got to use the banking comm. Has been since Train Sim World's been a thing, so probably need to click that just to be safe. See what the headlights are set to. So that's dim. We'll go ahead and put them on bright. There's our heater. Independent brake is full. Go ahead and cock back the auto brake. Whoa, thing's got a horn sequencer? Hold up. Hold up. That's like automatic horns, so you don't have to do two longs, one short, one long. Throw the reverser in there. I mean, the console looks pretty good. You know, it just seems like it's missing shading and texturing and just dirtiness. And grit. There's your PTC BS. None of it works. You can see your speedo. That's about it. Put the gen field on. Attendant call doesn't ring. Gauge lights without a U. G-A-G-E is like the name of a person named Gage. The spelling has always been whack. Of course, you can open the windows and doors like all TSW stuff. See if you can move. I guess you can't move the shades. Can you move these? Yeah, you can move the visors. Overhead lights. There's our wipers. Got your other fan. Now let's take a look at the top of this thing here. Got all your little aerials and rails or ice skates. It's weathered pretty good. I mean, it's a little chunky, but looks okay. Got dead bugs and crap all over it. Looks pretty good. I mean, visually, none of this stuff has ever really looked bad to me. I don't think it does at all. There's our horn. So is that a K5HL? I don't know my bells. Okay? I'm not a massive horn nerd. I kinda know the sounds. See if the fans are always running. There's our stack. Did they change the exhaust at all? Can't tell in here. Alright. Let's get this son of a biscuit out of here. So we got to go hook up to our train. I guess our locomotive's been stuck in the shop here, and we just got to get on out there and back onto our manifest. And we'll just drive this sucker a little bit, see what it's all about, see what it sounds like, see what it feels like, see what it smells like. It looks like it's all switched out, so we'll throw her in reverse. And I'll see if I can mess with the MFD once I get hooked up to the train and we get out of Dodge. Get that bell going. Sounds like an e-bell. The horn, I don't know, guys. Like, it doesn't sound bad. Like, again, apples to oranges. You know, in terms of Dovetail making North American sounds for as long as they have, it's not the worst in that aspect. Not by a long shot. But it sounds really flat and muted. Like, there's no depth to it. There's no bass. There's no reverb. And it sounds the same whether in or out. Like, let's see if it's got any Doppler. God, that's not good. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not good. That definitely could have been better. This thing, in real life, these things blast, dude. Like, oh. It sounds like some BS, like, you know, muted Cal, train, Amtrak, Metrolink, muted horn, you know, because people's ears hurt when they blow the horns. Like, it sounds something like that. They sound like they're capped or something. It just doesn't sound that great. Like, I can hear the depth of it in like the undertone. I don't know if you can pick it up via the video, but the over top, the higher pitch tone or bell does not sound great. Let's get all the windows open too. It sounds like they got some new flange squeal sounds. You can hear that low speed kind of grinding noise. So that's alright. Again, it's, you know, it's a very flat sound in the game. In real life, it's, I'm trying to think of what kind of other sound you could make it similar to, but it's like the sound is there, there's just no meat on it. It's like I don't know, it's like one of those fake hamburgers, you know, like it might taste like a burger, but you know it's not a burger, or it's just like missing something. That's what it sounds like. The horn has that same kind of vibe too. Alright, that's our cut down now. Let's see how this thing pulls. Yeah, the flange noises don't sound terrible. They just could use a little more, I don't know, think of like a big chunks of salt rubbed on a metal plate or something, you know, or like you're crushing ice on asphalt, you know, or something like that. It just doesn't have that depth to it. I know my analogies are weird. That's the best I can come up with. Sorry. I just got a thing that popped up that said significantly over speed limit. Wah. Alright, that's our cut right there. Let's start slowing down a bit. In fact, we'll go hop on the back here. We do it like a real choocher. This is our cut, yeah. Oh shoot, I didn't make sure the boys was open. Yeah, it's locked. Idiot. Damn it. There we go. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? And as far as the idle of this Gevo 12, that doesn't have any meat either. It's very muted. I mean, these things make all kind of noise when they're sitting there idle. I haven't heard the whoop. I haven't heard the hammering sound. It doesn't really have that chug. That old GE chug. You guys saw that, right? There's like a 3-second pause when I hooked up to the string here. Alright, we'll air them up. Put it back in neutral. Full loco. And we'll full service this Betty. I'm just trying to see what I can mess with here on the MFD. You can change the brightness. So you got a counter. I think you got the counter. I just started that. We'll see if that works. A distance counter. All right. Oh, it's doing that weird rocking thing. See how the train's bouncing? I've seen some people in the old days, and by old days I mean like a year or two ago, say, oh, it's the wind. No, it's not the wind. It's some weird ass train sim world thing. Alright, so let's look at these lights. It's kind of hard to tell being in this sunset, but they look very bright white, which I don't know why. If they're going to all this trouble to do all these things to try and update the game and even sell us a new game, fix the freaking headlight color. Please. How hard is that? It can't be that difficult. Just, please. You guys are getting better with sounds, okay, and physics and things like that. Fix the lights. Please. Alright, so we got 3 chooches. Couple of big boys and some grain skis. All right, so let's just sit here a minute and listen to it, because I swear I read something where some people said they heard the whoop and the hammering and stuff, and I'm not hearing that. I am seeing it rocking. Alright, let's go ahead and release it. Watching the brake pipe go up, 85. Go ahead and give her a notch. Man, that thing needs... It sounds like it's in mono. That son of a bitch needs to be in stereo surround. 5.1, 8.1, whatever the thing is now. It sounds really flat. Start coming off the Indy. There it goes. Oh boy. They got to sound right. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, let's let off the Indy. They got the whoop, the hammering, and the swishy. All right. The idle is still very mute, though. These sons of bitches are loud. I mean, they're freaking, you know, saving the whales and all, but they're still loud. Give her another notch. Let's check our line out of here. We'll just listen to it roll on by a minute here. Rail cars and all. Sounds like they're still using the same railcar sounds from games past, which, you know, weren't terrible, to be honest. They just, like, a lot of the sounds sound a little tinny. There's just, like, no depth to any of these sounds. And, you know, not to just kick the sound engineers straight in the balls. That's definitely not my angle. It's just, you know, after all this time and all this feedback from people, it just kind of continues. So, you know, at what point is it actually going to get better? You know, it's the question, really. All right, let's get the cab. I forgot I had the rail driver plugged in. Let's try and use that. Oh, I don't have it calibrated. All right, let's try the sequencer. Does it not work? It's supposed to do it on its own. Okay, I'm just going to start hitting buttons here, I guess. Wait a minute, so you can hit N and spacebar. It's like there's two horns? Not super sure about that one. mean, it sounds okay as far as the Gevo 12. I mean, there's just nothing. It's not layered. It's like it's not layered audio. I don't know the exact thing to say about it, but it's just like there's one sound out of like 10 that are playing, and 9 more need to play. Alright, so there's notch 4. It's like damn near silent at the front of the loco. Alright, notch 5. Notch 6. 7. 8. Okay. Is it just me, or did the sounds not change at all? Like they stopped changing at notch 3. I want to wind this sucker out though and hear it at full bore, full speed. We don't have much longer. Get a good track speed up here in a second. We'll do a run by. Doing about 25 mile an hour so far. Yeah, there's like no sound transition between about notch 3 to 8. What the hell? And there's chug. The chug is there, but there's like nothing else. There's no fans, there's no traction motor sound. Yeah, they're not that great. I mean, it doesn't sound like a freaking vacuum cleaner like the Gevo from Train Sim World's past. But it definitely could have used some mixing. It sounds a little better higher end. We're only doing 30 right now, but you can actually hear the fans and the traction winding up a hair. Yeah, you can't do squat. You can do more with the MFDs on the friggin' sand patch grade. You can do with these. Okay, they definitely sound better running. That the idle is almost non-existent on these things in the game, and low end. Higher end definitely sounds better, but it just doesn't sound like it's really mixed, and there's no difference between outside and inside. Yeah. You know, it's okay. In the grand scale of North American locomotives that Dovetail have messed with, you know, in years and years by now, it's not the worst. It's not the best, even though I don't know what the best is. Maybe, I think the F7 that they did for Clinchfield might have sounded the best, and even that was really flat. Alright, well, let's check out the Dash 2 then. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and check out the SD40-2. I'm not going to go into any kind of specs of this thing because it's been run through the ringer in Train Sim World, and pretty much everybody knows what it is, what it's like, yada yada. It's literally been on every North American route in Train Sim World, so we're just going to see what this one's like, see if it's any different. That idle is just supreme weak sauce. Oh my god. They sound sick or something. They're like wheezing. Wow. Horn? That's the best horn in the game. What is that, a P3? Yeah, that sounds better than the, whatever the hell, K5, HL, whatever the hell is supposed to be on the C4. Alright, let's see if anything be different here. So we're already cut in for freight. We're just going to drive it around a little bit. Number lights are already on. She's in run. Got her HOT diesel. Bank-A-Com, fake DPU. We'll go ahead and clear the auto brake. Look, those gauge lights are spelled right. G-A-U-G-E. Hi, my name's Gauge. So that's new. I think that's like one of the only new things. They've got BNSF handwritten in here. That's new. The bezels on this heater look like ass. How did that pass muster? Got our air conditions up there. Those look pretty legit. Let's go to the different views here. Alright, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? Alright, East Victorville Cement. Cement. We'll just, we'll see how she pulls. It's so quiet. Saving the fuel stickers new. They've definitely BNSF'd this cab up. I'll give them that. But they didn't, you know, it's why I'm sick of seeing these damn 6 axles and these Dash 2s, because they've already got the models. All they got to do is change a couple of things, you know. It's getting very old. Headlights look like ass. They're just bright white. Nothing to them. There's no color. I mean, the paints look pretty good. I'll give them that. They don't look bad. Wait, we have to stop? See if we can stop in time. Probably not. Blink. That's a new sound. Why the hell did we have to stop if we got to go up there and a couple of those cars? Alright, let's make sure this is open. This is like the new gimmick, I guess, is they're all closed by default. Oh, man. What do you know? It's locked. Ah, cheapers creepers. Alright, let's go get them. Man, the sounds are just so flat on this thing. At least the C4, the Gevo, had a little bit of, tiny bit of depth. This thing is just like zero effort. You know, you always see these Dovetail commercials and ads that are like, sounds important. We're rail fans. This is important to us. Blah, 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 blah. But they just keep doing the same thing. Saying one thing and not doing anything are just, you know, completely useless. Make it happen. Practice what you preach. Alright, so we're going down there, but we're just going to see how these things pull. Give it 2 notches. They actually don't feel too bad. They seem like they load up okay. I don't even know how many cars are back there, but it ain't terrible. Oh my god, the sounds are so bad. This must be the SD40-Tesla. Because they're pretty crappy. See how she handles the air. Yeah, these things are in desperate need of new sounds. Seems to handle the air okay. Yeah, it's a nice and gradual stop. That's actually pretty good there. All right, let's go ahead and just go in and we'll check out what kind of services and scenarios we got. All right, so the main menu, so they changed the UI unnecessarily again. They're trying to push this whole thing about driving a train anywhere you want to drive it thing, which, you know, is fantastical and fictional, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. So you pick a train, choose a route, rail journeys, and quick play. So I'm going to choose a route. We're going to go to Cajon. And look at the scenarios real quick. Shot class, prepare C4, bring it into service. Lead of a formation, through fire and flames. Wildfire along track, sounds interesting. Barstow away. Inspect formation on the inspection lines at Barstow. Slip and slide, torrential rain. Dirty Dur. Command and concrete. Victorville cement. So that's... Yeah, I'm getting the idea switching moves are very limited in this, because this reminds me of the thing in Sherman Hill. And then free switching, that's just kind of like Sandpatch Grade, where you can do whatever the hell you want in that one scenario. We'll go back to Cajon and timetable. We'll click on the C4. See what we got here. So we do have quite a few. I don't know the exact number, but hell, if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 maybe? I don't know. There's quite a few. So you got different kinds of trains as well, which is nice. They're actual train numbers now. So that's cool. Auto rack units, San Bernardino to Victorville. Of course, this is just where you can drive, not the complete train. Like this is Houston to San Diego. LA to Houston. El Paso to San Diego. They all kind of seem to be the same, if I'm honest. That's Phoenix to LA. Intermodal. A lot of Houston and Phoenix. Not much more. Yeah, I don't know all the train numbers, but that's San Diego to Albuquerque. So yeah, that's it. That's Cajon Pass. I don't know what else much more to show on the route, to be honest. I'm going to be checking out the Castle Versberg, the German route here, because that thing looks sexy as hell, that ICE first gen. But that was Cajon Pass, guys. Just kind of wanted to center on that. I know it turned into like a 10-hour video, but it's, you know, I kind of wanted to look at everything. I feel like there's a lot of content out there where people don't do that. They just kind of cherry pick some things and don't show the whole picture, if you know what I mean. So hopefully that was somewhat helpful. Do I recommend, if you're just into North American stuff, do I recommend the Deluxe? Absolutely not. You know, if you're only going to do Cajon Pass, or if that's all you're interested in, get the regional pricing at $29 and wait till the 6th for when it comes out. The locomotives themselves, the Gevo seems okay. Like, it could have been better. Like, if they just mix sounds a bit more. I'll definitely have more time in that and do an actual run here on YouTube. The Dash 2 is a joke. It's, you know, it's like, it's a side dish. You know, it's not necessary. Nobody really cares about it. It's been reused so many times. It's been passed around like a doobie at a frat party. Like, the thing is seriously getting old, but it's there. It'll be nice to see the Union Pacific stuff when you have Sherman Hill, if you have that put in, however the hell you do it. The route itself seems okay. It looks fairly good, honestly. But, you know, it's not always about the route in the map. The trains have to matter. It is, after all, a train simulator. And if anything, if I had to just judge the route on a number, I'd say like a, I don't know, just right now, limited playtime, maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. Just random number. Don't even have any reasoning behind it. The trains matter. We need better sounds, man. Better sounds. They're getting there. You know, we've had some good stuff here and there, but they just need to get better, because it's, eh. But that's it, guys. We'll be back next time with Kasselversberg and the ICE-1. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.